We're over medicated in this society. It's just a pill society. That's just the way the world is, the way in the United States. The rest of the world ain't like that. I take that back. Our prescription drug use doubled in 20 years from the 90s to the 2000s and 30 years now, I guess. It's because our health is poor. Okay. We spend more on healthcare than any country in the world. We're spending $4.5 trillion a year. The HHS, our Health and Human Services, has so much budget, it would be the 6th largest country in the world based on their budget. But we have absolutely the worst health outcome. We're spending $13,000 a year per person when all the other industrialized nations that have much better health are spending half of that to 1/3 of that. So we're getting triple ripped off. We're near the bottom of developed nations when it comes to health outcomes. And that's healthy babies, healthy kids, healthy adults. Chronic disease is the highest in the world. 6 in 10 adults have at least one chronic disease.
6 in 10 Americans, adults have a chronic disease.
And that's heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, obesity, hypertension. 4 in 10 have 2 or more. Okay. And you wonder why we didn't do good through the pandemic. Okay. Now kids, all right. 40,
I don't want to know. This one.
It's 42% of kids now have a chronic illness.
Wow.
42 chronic illness, a chronically ill child. And in the 70s, it was 1 or 2%.
Crazy.
The pediatricians would go their whole career with maybe see one diabetic kid.
So we're so much sicker now.
Radically sicker.
Wow.
Autism was 1 in 10,000. We knew what autism was back then.
In the 70s?
Yeah, we knew what that was. It's 1 in 36.
Did they call it autism, though?
Yeah, they did. It's just a mess. And the answer has to go back to personal responsibility. If we get more people on insurance to get their health care covered, they're not going to be healthier because the more you participate in a healthcare system, the sicker you are.
That's so true.
And the insurance companies, you think they would want to keep you healthy because they wouldn't have to spend money out, right?
You think.
Okay, let's say you're a car insurance company. You insure all the cars in Tallahassee. And there's 5 wrecks a day?
We're assuming that all the cars in Tallahassee are insured.
Well, let's assume they're all insured. Let's assume you insure them all. What if they were all going to crash?
They couldn't handle it.
What would the premiums do?
Oh, shoot.
Would you make more money?
Absolutely.
So that's it.
Yeah,
everybody's sick. So they're just raking it in like crazy. And the problem boils down to you don't have any vested interest in what they paid out for you because what procedure have you had recently and what did it cost? You don't know. I went for my colonoscopy. I'm like, hey, how much is this going to cost? You can't find out. I emailed them. I called to ask the lady at the desk.
You're not haggling like you're buying a used car.
It doesn't matter. You don't care. It's $50. It's my copay. It's whatever it is. You go, how much was your surgery?
Thousands of dollars.
How many thousands?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? It could be 10, could be 100.
My friend had a problem with this kid. A baby got RSV and was very sick in the hospital, and they saved the kid's life.
Really?
There for 21 days. How much is the bill?
I'd say 1.2.
It's going to be astronomical.
$300,000. But you don't know. Go try to have a baby. Try to figure out what it costs. They're trying to do some legislation to fix this. They looked at New York City and it was from $1,200 to have a baby to $20,000 to have a baby. In Detroit, it was $5,000 to $60,000.
Really? Why so much more up there?
Because there's no price transparency. You don't care. You hand them your card and you don't care if they do it. I believe in capitalism. I believe, the market will dictate the price. It does not dictate the price when it comes to healthcare. You don't care how much is your prescription when you go get it. Some people have to pay if it's not covered by insurance. It could be thousands.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That Ozempic was like $1,200, right? But in Europe, they were paying $400 and $500 for it. Now they've got it down in the United States. Like, hey, we're getting ripped off. They're doing some new legislation. Hey, now it's only $200 a month for people that need it.
What do you think would happen if we went to a system where people paid for the health care they needed at that time, no insurance involved?
That's kind of what they want to do. They're trying to get it where they take the healthcare money because the average family is spending almost $30,000 a year on their healthcare. Healthcare insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
$30K. But we're spending $13,000 per person on healthcare. Where's that extra delta going from the 20 to 30? Well, it's a family of 3, so it all kind of works out. That's what needs to happen. It needs to go back into the power of the consumer. You need to know what you're paying for, what you're getting for what you pay for, and you need to have some vested interest in it. Give me the $30,000 to spend on my family. Let me be able to shop. Okay, we're having a baby. I'm going to go to the place that's $2,000, not the place that's $60,000. It's the same service.
That's so true.
You're going to drive. What's your favorite chemo drug? Do you like Pepsi or Coke? Which one's effective? You don't know. You just go and take the one they give you. You cannot be an educated consumer. There's a lot of trust. The doctors, they're doing the best they can with the constraints of that. And they'll only pay so much for this and only so much for that. It's just out of hand. It wasn't like that when we were born. It's changed that fast. We've got roughly 88 pharmacies in Tallahassee. They're filling 17,000 prescriptions every day.
That's unbelievable, man.
Okay, that's 6.2 million prescriptions a year in Tallahassee alone. That's 30 per year per person.
30 prescriptions
per year. So if you've got one and you fill it every month, that's 12.
Right.
But sometimes you get a 90-day supplies. The average nationwide is 13 per person.
So we're way
over.
We bumped our numbers up, hadn't we?
Sure have. So I don't know, man. It's not, Americans didn't get lazier. They didn't get,
since the 70s?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten lazier. I
No,
wholeheartedly disagree.
I do too. I got to tell you, man.
I disagree. I don't think people innately change that much that they're just lazier. Now, lifestyle's more sedentary. We're more desk jobs. When most jobs, what do? You sit here. Most jobs, there were a much higher percentage of jobs in the 70s where you actually had to work.
Amen.
Physically.
Amen.
There were a lot more physical things to do.
There.
People walked more. People were outdoors more. The food was radically different.
Those jobs
the weed
don't
that you
pay
got
as
was
much,
not
though.
glyphosate. You think. When I get a dude that drives a tractor coming in my office, that dude makes bank.
Oh, yeah.
So you got a dude that's a laborer, they make good money. So that used to be it, but now that there's so few doing it, look at Lively Tech and the guys that work on airplanes. Those kids are making $80K day one.
That's great then. Yeah.
So if you want to work and figure out how to fix something, your AC guys are not poor.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Yeah.
So yeah, go figure out how to do something. And it's
well, when we were kids, and I think with us, this might be where our little bit of age difference comes into different, because we were around when there wasn't a super size, there wasn't a what a size, there wasn't anything. That when you went to McDonald's, it was a treat to get the Big Mac.
Very rare treat.
The drink was 8 ounces. The
and
fries were
a large was 16 ounces. And that was a lot of drink. A large fry was now like the equivalent to a medium fry. And it was a treat. And now with all this, everybody, they're all coming out with their new burgers and everything. They're giant burgers, which even the McDonald's CEO seems to not like. McDonald's was a treat. It wasn't a
I remember we had
thing.
grew up in Lake Bradford. We had to rake the beach to go get McDonald's. Like it was like a big deal. That was a lot of work. That was a half a day's work to rake up all the cypress needles that were heavy and wet and get them hauled off to go get chicken nuggets when they came out. That was a big deal. You weren't just going to get that. But
you begged.
It's just everything's more sedentary. The food's way worse. You went to the doctor. They would give you advice more often to go get your junk together before they put you on a pill. When today, that's just kind of the way it is.
Get your junk together. And Dr. James Ryan Fenn, and make sure you make that appointment. FENN. We're really late. FENNCHIRO.com. That's FENN.
Stay tuned. I'm just getting warmed up.
CHIRO.com.